Yes, what's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little afternoon show for you lads and lasses. We're going to get into all the latest goings on in regards to the transfer dealings of Manchester United in this window. Thank you very much for joining us, folks, and getting in the live stream. We've got a bunch of legends in here. Shout out to everybody joining. Let's see who's among us today. Welcome aboard, guys. Griffo Chaz, a legend among us. What an eloquent individual. Last night's panel show. I like to call last night's panel show the Griffo show. Because he was very, very, very good and eloquent and dominated the chat. Some may say in an obnoxious way. Not me, though. I'm joking. How you doing there, Griffo? You're a star, mate. What's going on? Templar Priest, Philip Chapman, Jay Cool, Must Play. What's going on, Ben Bray? How you doing there, Jonathan Gallagher? Let's go. Yes, Jim Watkins, how are you? Templar Priest, Ruben Mensah Bonsu, let's go. ZX Flames, Jay King, fire up. Luke as well, how are you doing, bud? Langy86, get in there, you legend. How are you doing? Good to see you, mate. Hope you're having a great day, bud. Berserker, hello to you as well. Nick Pendragon, another legend. Mates, Simon Almeida, great to see you. United Tactical Talk, Joshua, Ben Dorr, let's be having you. Michael, Uncaged Squid, Duke of Rodtown's in here as well. Hello to you, boss. Ryan, Niall, come on, let's be having you. Joshua, Arsenal for life, get out. And everybody else as well. Matthew Smith, Philip Chapman, James Smith, Counter Debate, Sibon Gassini, Super Fat Frank, seriously, Kerry, just everyone, thank you so much for getting in here. Claire Farron, what's good? Berserker. Everyone, thank you so much, lads and lasses, for joining us for today's show. We've got plenty to get into. Please do us a big favour at the start of this one and smash that like button. Every little like helps, and it helps let us know that you like the show. It also helps YouTube know that you like the show. So mash that like button if you haven't done so, my friends. Hit the thumbs up. That would be much appreciated at the start of this one. And you can give us a share around anywhere you want. Scroll it on the toilet wall if you want. But seriously, though, you can give us a retweet on social media, on Twitter. It's pinned to the top of the live chat. Give us a cheeky little retweet. We'll shout you all out, whoever does that at the end of the show. We've got a new little live chat thing on the go here, guys, so we can now highlight people's chats whilst we're on this type of show, which is nice, isn't it? Looking more professional, guys. Making advances in the technology department, yeah? So smash a one if you like the look of the show today with the new sort of comment system and everything. Hopefully it's working and it's not just, you know, melting, but hopefully it's all good. But I think it looks good, guys. I think it looks good. Primot, how are you doing, you star as well? Hope you're doing well. Thank you seriously for the feedback there, my son. Hey, Mr. Freaky Udonte, he says, is Onana coming to United? Well, that's what we're going to get into in this show. Hopefully there's some announcements today. It's looking like it could well be done and dusted and a deal agreed between Inter Milan and Manchester United today. Hopefully, I mean, look, we'll have to wait and see. Sometimes these things take a little bit of time. But if you consider the sort of situation as it is with get in there, you legend, get in there, Matthew Smith. If you consider all the current situation as it is, Manchester United have already bid twice for Andre Onana. We've had a 45 million euro total bid rejected and also a 50 million euro total bid rejected. Inter Milan reportedly holding out for somewhere in the region of 60 million euros. But there are fresh reports that United are in constant negotiation, constant dialogue with Inter Milan at this moment to get an agreement reached. And that it's probably going to be in the region of 55 million euros, i.e. 50 million euros up front and a 5 million euro cheeky add-on incentive down the line as well. That's what's realistic. So yes, I think that, to answer your question, I think yes, we are close to getting Andre Onana. It could be announced today. If not today, then certainly over the weekend. But quite likely it could be today, guys. So watch this space. There's quite a lot of new information, but more or less, you know, just a little bit added to what we already know, which is, you know, negotiations between Manchester United and Inter for Andre Onana are ongoing also today. Talks on sources feel that a 55 million euro package is the right one to make the deal happen. Pay the money. Get the deal done. It's only 5 million euros we're quibbling over here. You know, I understand not wanting to completely bend to Inter Milan after we've done good dealings with them in the past. I get that we want to get this guy for as small amount of money as possible, but I mean, there's not really that much difference between 50 million and 55 million. Fair enough, we don't want to pay 60 million euros for this guy. That's what Inter started with. You never really want to bend to what they want. You've got to try and negotiate a little bit. But 55 million euros is the magic number, guys. It's also, incidentally, the familiar number to what we paid for Mason Mount. So I don't know if we're going to sign every player this summer for £55 million, but maybe so. Obviously, we've got £5 million in add-ons to pay later on down the line for Mason Mount as well. But that seems to be the magic number at the moment for Andre Onana, 55 million euros. Smash a 55 in the live chat, guys, if you think that that is the magic number to get Andre Onana. What's my name? Onana. What's my name? Oh, na. Let's get this guy in, guys. He's obviously going to be a decent acquisition for Ten Hag. That's what it's all about. Man United are actually going after players this summer window, it seems at the moment anyway, that will complement Erik Ten Hag, that fit to the style that Erik Ten Hag wants to play. That's the key thing here. If you look at some of the things we've done in the past, certainly over recent years, it's almost like the blind leading the blind. It's almost like we've had a human potato leading the football club, like i.e. Ed Woodward, or when we signed Donny van der Beek, say, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even though he didn't want him. It's like that's what we've been doing silly things, getting the wrong sort of players. Romelu Lukaku, Paul Pogba, whoever it may be, the wrong sort of players for this football club. Whereas now it seems like we're sort of complimenting Erik Ten Hag. We're giving him what he wants. We're allowing him the freedoms. You can see the influence that Erik Ten Hag has had over this football team already, just on the type of signings that he's made. If you look at all the signings we made last year, they're all, apart from maybe Casemiro, who everyone would want, they're all Erik Ten Hag signings. It's not like we're just, getting players for the sake of it. He's gone and got a clear vision of what he wants to build at Manchester United, and he's signed players in order to do so. And he's continuing to do that with players like Andre Onana coming in. Look, the feeling with David De Gea, obviously, is that he was a great goalkeeper for us, and he's a fantastic player, but Ten Hag felt, and a lot of people feel as well, that he is not the right player to take us forward with his ability with the ball at his feet. And it's not really the most important thing for a goalkeeper, but you want the goalkeeper at Manchester United to be able to do that. You want them to be able to build out from the back. You want them to be able to distribute well. You want them to be cool and calm at the back and command their area well and sweep up and all that sort of stuff. That's not something that David De Gea is really strong at. So Ten Hag's identified that. He said to David, as good as he is and what a legend he is, and let's get an applause in the live chat for him. But he said to David, thanks for your service. See you later on, son. As harsh as it may be and as poorly as we've treated him at the end of this whole situation, that's the case. And he's done that in order to go and get Andre Onana, who does fit what Ten Hag's trying to do. He does complement the style that he's trying to go forward with and execute his vision. So, I could only really praise Erik Ten Hag for his ruthlessness in a way, and I can only really hope that this signing of Andre Onana will complement Erik Ten Hag's vision and what he wants to do going forward, which I think it will, because he's already had that relationship with him. I mean, there's a big understanding that a large reason why we are getting this guy and that he wants to come to Manchester United is Erik Ten Hag. So, little report here from Simon Stone that Ten Hag believes that Andre Onana is up to the level he demands and will easily adapt to life in the Premier League. By contrast, he is not convinced David De Gea's ability with the ball at his feet is up to the required standard. I think that's true, isn't it, guys? Smash a one if you agree with that. That he's just not, David De Gea, as good as he is, he's probably the best shot stopper in the world. He doesn't have the ability at his feet. And for what Ten Hag's trying to do going forward, he doesn't have the ability to do that, really. So I think it's a fair comment. It's a fair situation that we have to evaluate and say that he's been amazing for us, but he's not good with the ball at his feet. He's a bit of a melter. United says David De Gea couldn't pass a parcel. Oh, mate, thank you for getting in here, everybody, by the way. Yeah, look at that. Berber says, favourite United player. Love Dave. But you can't be sentimental. Great comment from Berber here. I hope you had great today, my friend. So yeah, you're absolutely spot on. You can't be sentimental in these times. If United kept hold of players just for the sake of being sentimental, Fergie would have never got rid of Roy Keane. We'd still have Paul Scholes playing for us to this day, which we could probably do a lot worse, to be fair. But, do you know what I mean? You've got to move these players on at some point, and there's usually a catalyst, there's usually a reason for it, it's usually something that happens. And the thing that happened with David De Gea right now is his contract ended, and he was on £375,000 a week, which is madness. A crazy amount of money to pay for any goalkeeper, really. But certainly for De Gea, who had vulnerabilities, who maybe doesn't complement what Ten Hag's trying to do, i.e. not being able to play out from the back, distribute well, all that kind of thing. It's too much. So it just reached its natural end at Manchester United, I think. We could have maybe re-signed him to a new deal and gone ahead with a goalie that doesn't quite fit Ten Hag's vision, but then he's always going to be shackled with having to play a certain way. There's always going to be that disconnect between the goalkeeper, the defence, the midfield, and all that kind of thing. Whereas now, if we get Andre Onana, which is looking likely, we're going to have somebody that can play the Ten Hag way. And Ten Hag's already managed this guy at Ajax, so, there's lots of reasons why that will be the case. And he feels that he will be able to come in and do the job for us in the Premier League. So I'm 100% behind it. I love David De Gea. I'm the type of guy to have a laminated picture of David De Gea under my bed. What? But I'm just saying, the guy, what? That's actually not true. That's actually not true, just to clear that up, guys, Why is it laminated, you ask? You don't want to know. But no, I'm the type of guy to absolutely love David De Gea and think that he's a great player and love what he's done at the club and the 12 years of being a great servant for us. But it's time to move on, unfortunately, with a new type of player, a new Ten Hag style player. So yeah, I am feeling positive about this going forward. And the amount of money, I don't care about the amount of money, guys. It's clearly just the right sort of figure to pay. When you actually factor in the amount of money that United pay for David De Gea anyway, and Henderson. So this Henderson mug, by the way, look at this. United are open to signing 2 goalkeepers this summer. We'll get onto that in a minute, as Dean Henderson is expected to be sold. See you later on, Dean Henderson. No one gives a shit about you, my friend. You know what I mean? Like, who cares about Dean Henderson? Get rid of this guy immediately, because he's useless and he's on big money. So you combine David De Gea's wages with Dean Henderson's wages and you end up with in excess of £500,000 a week. What's that all about, guys? Why have we ever got ourselves into the situation where we're paying? And then not only that, think about people like Butland and Heaton and these guys as well. Way over £500,000 a week we're paying out on goalies. That's 24 million plus pounds a year. That pays for Onana in a couple of seasons. Okay, he's going to get paid a significant amount as well, 200k a week, whatever it may be, to come and be the goalie. So it doesn't work out like that. But once you've got David off your books, which we have, and once we've got Henderson off our books, which we will, then it just means that we're actually saving money. And we could even have a better goalkeeper situation that benefits Ten Hag's side. So I don't see the negatives in this whatsoever. This is a good overall situation. Get rid of this mug, Henderson. He's a complete prat. Get David De Gea's gone. He's a legend, but time to move on. And then sign Onana, and then sign a backup goalie as well. So look at this. So here's another report. We've been talking about this in the last couple of days. Manchester United have Japanese 2002-born goalkeeper Zion Suzuki, who plays for Urawa Reds, on their radar. He's one of the players we're looking at as a new backup goalkeeper. There's nothing done yet, but United are informed, and apparently he's in the market. We could get him for around about £5 million, which in my opinion is just nothing. It's chump change for this guy. Look, never seen this guy play. Who knows if he's any good or not? But if he's being earmarked as a player to come in and be a backup, he's only 20, I think. It's like he's got big potential for the future. He's a young player. They're not just going to sign any old twat just because he's $5 million. The point is, he's obviously a good young talent, which they've scouted and looked at and had an interest in, i.e. the scouting team at the club. And if they think that he would be a good backup player for us, get him in. He's going to be on chump change. How much is this guy going to come over for United for? £5 million. How much is he going to be paid? £22,000 a week? I don't know. For a 20-year-old who's coming over from Urawa Reds, I would say that it's going to be hardly anything. Whereas Henderson's being paid quite a small fortune. He's basically the goalkeeper version of Harry Maguire at this stage. Just a complete sap on the finances. Get rid of that melter. He does nothing. And then we can start to actually, justify the wages that we're spending at the football club. So there you go. We get Onana in on a couple of £100,000 a week. Yes, we have to spend 55 million euros up front, but it makes sense for what we're trying to do for the long term. Plus, he's only 27 himself. He will go on and develop and probably turn into one of the best goalkeepers in the world while he's at Manchester United, if he's not already. And then this guy could come in as a backup goalie. We've got rid of 2 melters at the same time. David De Gea is not a melter, by the way, but you know what I'm saying. Got rid of 2 players who are sapping out huge finances from the club every single week, and then we can start to build for the future. Come on, United! Finally, we're starting to do stuff that's not absolutely ridiculously stupid. You know, I'm feeling a bit more positive with how things are going at the club at the moment, transfer-wise. We're giving Ten Hag what he wants. Hopefully we can get rid of some twats at the club, i.e. Slabo, Maguire, McTominay, all these melts. Thank you for subscribing there, Booty AM, by the way. Hit the subscribe if you're new. Get rid of some of these prats, Henderson. Get these melters who are sapping finances out of our club off the books and go and reinvest it properly in really good talents and really good players that fit what Ten Hag's trying to do. And then hopefully he can take us forward. That's the idea. And then with the Glazer shithouses hopefully leaving the football club and new owners coming in, things will be rosy again at Manchester United. Come on, guys. Let's get some hashtag Glazers outs and some love hearts in the live chat. I'm feeling buzzed up about what could potentially happen in this transfer window. It's been a long time since I said that, really, because we've had no direction whatsoever. But at the moment, you know, we're signing the right sort of players. Let's just talk about this, for instance. So if we were to end this transfer window with signing 4 or 5 players, and we've signed Suzuki, the backup goalie, we've signed Onana, we've signed Rasmus Hojlund, say, a good young prospect who's probably going to score a lot of goals for us this season and going forward for the future, could be 15 years of player at United. And then we also end up with Amrabat as a backup midfielder, and we've got Mason Mount. How would you rate that transfer window out of 10, folks? Let us know. So that's 5 players I've just mentioned there that we could sign or maybe should sign. How would you rate that out of 10? Let us know in the live chat. Me personally, you know, it's a solid window. I'd give it a 7 or a 6 at least, which is better than a lot of the windows we've had recently. Jonathan Gallagher, thank you for the super chat, mate. Come on. Get in there, Jonathan, mate. Thank you very much for the super chat, lad. He says, De Gea treatment was wrong, totally disrespectful. I don't disagree with you, pal. He is very much a legend of this football club and should be respected, and we kind of done him dirty at the end there. I agree with you. We didn't want to pull the trigger in the end on signing him up to a new deal. There were kind of big reports that he signed a deal, that we had proposed a deal for him, and that he was happy with that. In the end, may have taken a bit of time in order to sign it, but apparently he did sign it, and then United withdrew it. But if I make you an offer for your clapped out Ford Fiesta, Jonathan Gallagher, 3 months ago, and then come back to you 3 months later after saying I'm an hour about it, and say, can we still do that deal? You know, it's not guaranteed it's going to be done, is it? So I think there's some issues on both sides here, but I do think we treated David De Gea like a used tea bag, mate. We sapped all the juice out of him and just tossed him away. So I agree, it's not good there, Jonathan Gallagher, mate, but what can you do, eh? We've got to move on. I mean, there's still some possibility. I very much doubt it, guys. There's some talks. I heard some reports yesterday, and the guys were talking about it a little bit on the panel show last night, that we could potentially go after David De Gea again to re-sign him as a backup. What? That's got to be bullshit, guys. I mean, there's got to be bullshit. For a start, I don't think David De Gea would want to come and play backup second fiddle at the club that he's, you know, been a starter at for 12 years and just be a complete backup melter. And he's not going to go and sign for Manchester United for less than a couple of £100,000 a week, which is too much money to pay for a backup goalkeeper. If we're signing Onana, obviously, it's too much money to pay for any backup goalkeeper, really. Look, competition for places is great, and having depth and quality in depth is great, but that's taken a little bit too far. What United really need is kind of an established number one who's the main man in between the sticks, i.e. Andre Onana going forward, and then a great backup, maybe a young prospect goalkeeper that's going to go on and do good things and deputise and play some cup games and develop, i.e. this Suzuki lad would fit the bill. So just, it doesn't really make sense for David De Gea to commit to a backup goalkeeper role at Manchester United, and it doesn't make sense for Manchester United to pay him the sort of money that he would want to be a backup goalkeeper. So I just don't think there's any real basis for that. I think, yeah, he could go and end up at a good European side. Fenerbahce reportedly interested in him. If I was Inter Milan, I'd be having a look at David De Gea, for instance. If they're going to get 55 million euros for Onana, they could do a lot worse than David De Gea. But I just don't think there's any real possibility of that. But in all fairness, though, I saw a couple of comments in the chat last night, and it did make me think. So at the moment, United are paying, what, £600,000 a week out to goalkeepers' wages, when you combine, well, no, not at the moment, but when we had David De Gea at the club, we were paying that out for goalkeepers' wages when you combine all the goalies' wages. Now, if we were to just sack off Henderson, sack off Heaton, these guys, and maybe re-sign David De Gea as a backup, on a couple £100,000 a week, and you've got Onana on, I don't know, £250,000 a week, or whatever the case may be. It's actually less money than what we were spending, and yet we've got the choice and the depth of having two world-class goalkeepers. So, I mean, I'm just saying, it's not the craziest thing, but I don't see that happening, guys. What do you think? David De Gea re-sign at Manchester United? Re-sign him as a backup or a rotation player? What? Andre Onana's not going to be happy with that either. I don't think so, but what do you reckon, guys? Yes or no in regards to that? Right, let's just see what you guys would rate that window. Sorry, I've got to catch up with the chat here, guys. But there's a bunch of people who voted and said what sort of a window you would rate it if we signed Suzuki, Onana, Amrabat, Mount, and Hojlund. And this is what the people in the live chat are saying. Joshua Whitfield thinks 7 out of 10. Templar says 8. 7 says J King. Ruben says 7. Yep. Hidden Element says 7. Berber says 10 because we've addressed all major issues. Fair Play Marty says 6. Kingdom says 8. Duke of Rodtown says 7, 7.5. A Ball Tickling 7.45 says No Toes. Peter Comedy says 8 just to send it back and it's a 10. All right, okay, so in my opinion, for it to be a 10, we'd have to like really go ham. We'd have to like show proper ambition this summer transfer window, not just to get 4 or 5 players in that improve us. And those are the players that we need, and they're 10R type players. And like Berber said, it would improve the positions that we need improving. But actually, for it to be a 10, we'd have to go ham and get some proper ambition shown, i.e. sign Kane as well, you know, i.e. sign a centre-back as well, you know. So for it to be a 10, we'd have to go and spend a few £100 million and really go for it. Because Hojlund's a great young prospect, but, you know, there's a difference between that and somebody like Harry Kane, who's proven to get you nearly 30 goals every single year that he's in the Premier League. So, you know, if we had proper ambition and did something like that and really went for it, then yes, it would be a 10, but we're not quite there. I will be watching the Leeds game on Wednesday, Joshua. Hello there, Rushmano. What's going on, you absolute legend? I hope you're doing well, bud. Thank you for getting in the show. Thanks for the updates as always. Henrik says, Pig, could you remove the Fabrizio window? Sure. Why is that? I mean, I'm getting on through the news. We were talking about that Suzuki guy there. That's why that was up on the screen, my lad. So, you know, you have to be calm, mate. We're gonna move on to the next topic in a second. But anyway, yes. By the way, guys, we've got a couple of 100 legends watching this stream right now. Thank you, every single one of you. And we've just smashed 100 likes. That's awesome. But you know what? We got 217 people watching, 106 likes. That's less than half of you have smashed the like button. You what? Do us a favour, hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so. Give it a little tickle. You know it makes sense. Let's smash 169 likes immediately. Also, share us around on the social medias if you want. And make sure you're subscribing if it's your first time to the channel. That'd be much appreciated. Get yourself involved. We're on here daily with the updates. And we cover all the latest news in a no bullshit way, so make sure you subscribe. K Slater, you legend, I hope you're doing good. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, Mikey. So Hojlund's obviously young, and he seems to have all the potential, and he's got the physicality and the speed, and he does seem to have a lot of potential, right? But potential is different to, like, current ability, and his current ability is not as good as Harry Kane. I always have this conversation with people in the chat. People say they don't rate Kane. How can you not rate 30 goals in the last season for Spurs? Hojlund, this is what Mikey says. Hojlund hasn't scored many for Atalanta, but that's because Atalanta are gash. Atalanta aren't that bad, but he says, give him Bruno, Mount and Rashford feeding him, he'll score loads. I can't deny he'll score more. Definitely agree with you there, because Man United are going to create a lot of chances. But actually, I think it's going to be maybe a transitional period for the guy. Coming to the Premier League, it's a different footballing culture. He's young. The Premier League's the most physical league in the world in terms of dealing with opposition defences and that kind of thing. I think he will get the service. But actually, I don't know. If you look at the last season or two, Man United have kind of struggled to get the right service to the forward players. So I'm not so sure if we can 100% say that. But, you know, Kane, on the other hand, knows the Premier League and has that footballing proven pedigree within this actual league. So that's why I like him. But look, to be honest with you guys, Hojlund, Kane, Osimhen, Gonçalo Ramos, it doesn't really matter. It's who Ten Hag wants. If Ten Hag actually has identified Hojlund as being the right type of player to come in and do what he wants him to, then that's who we should go and get. If Ten Hag wanted Kane, then that's who we should go and get. You know, it's not about money. It's not about status. It's not about age. It's not about reputation. What it should be about is who Erik Ten Hag wants to go and get. And if he feels like Hojlund's the right man for the job that he wants to sort of implement at the club tactics-wise and how we want to play, then that's who we should go and get. So I'm actually really happy with Hojlund. I'd be happy with any of those forward players we've just mentioned, as long as that's who Ten Hag wants to go and get. And Jonathan's right, Ten Hag has to be accountable. If it fails, he would be accountable. If he's going to get Hojlund, if he's going to get someone, I mean, he would be the person that is accountable for his decisions and his signings. Always. That's always going to be the case with a manager and bringing their own players in. Definitely. He's accountable for all the players we've signed last season as well. Thankfully, most of them have turned out to be bosses. Can't wait to see Lissandro the Butcher back playing for us, for instance. You know, Anthony's got development still ahead of him. He's only young. All these players that Ten Hag has signed in, he's accountable for all of them. He's accountable for all of them. But thankfully, they're doing all right at the moment. And he actually managed to get us third place and exceed expectations quite considerably with the squad that he has at his disposal. So if we add more players, he will be accountable for those signings as well, i.e. Mason Mount. Ten Hag's super accountable for Mason Mount, isn't he? Number 7 shirt he's given him. £60 million we spent on Mason Mount. A pretty insane amount of money, guys, for a player that, you know, is good. But it's too much money, really. We've paid a premium from Chelsea. We paid the English premium there as well. And we're paying him big money. He's super accountable for Mason Mount. Mason Mount has the potential to be a flop, but he's also got the potential to be a success. So we've got to give him the chance. We've got to get behind Ten Hag, but he's super accountable for the Mason Mount signing, isn't he? If he doesn't work out, everyone's going to be straight on his back and everyone's going to be on Ten Hag's back. So yeah, good comment. Thank you, Viking Red, for getting in here. I hope you're doing well, boss. Appreciate you. Noto says Anthony could become a little version of Robin for us, or he could become a Marks and Spencer version of Robin. You know what I mean? Listen, Robin was absolutely amazing, wasn't he? What a player. One of the best wingers I've ever seen. And he only had 1 foot. And he was that type of guy cutting in for the right-hand side with that left boot, etc. You can make some comparisons. But guess what? Iron Robin wasn't always the same player that he was when he was at Bayern. Who remembers Iron Robin in the earlier part of his career? He was a very good player, and he obviously had bags of potential. But like when he was at Chelsea, he wasn't the same player he was later when Bayern had Robin and Ribéry, and they had that combination. He developed, and he turned into one of the best players in the world. He developed, you know. So Anthony is only 22. Anthony can develop as well. So I think it's harsh to compare Anthony at this stage to Robin. What you should probably do is compare a 22-year-old Anthony to a 22-year-old Robin. Do you know what I mean? So that's what you've got to do there. You can't really compare that at the moment. In the future, though, Anthony will be compared to him, and he's got to develop and progress, but hopefully he can hit those levels. Thank you, Jim says you are 100%. You are so right, Pig. Thank you, bud. Noto says 100%, Pig. Thank you very much, lad. And that's what he's got. He's got bags of potential, huge potential to go on and do things, i.e. like Iron Robin did. Iron Robin was an amazing player. He didn't have the best hair, did he? He was bald at 23, the guy. But he had some bloody pace, though, didn't he? Thank you, Rushmano. He says, smash a like. It really helps the channel. Yes, guys, hit the like button if you haven't done. And keep getting your thoughts in. We always dip in and out the live chat throughout the show and let everyone have their say. But we also do have a big Q&A at the end of each show. So if you're a bit annoyed that your comments are not getting read out, etc., stick around, because at the end of the show, we will absolutely be reading out everyone's comments and getting your thoughts and opinions on them. So yeah, just hang out. Right, let me cover the rest of the news then, guys. So Onana, the situation there, if you're just joining us, guys, Onana is going to be done very soon, it seems. Obviously, nothing's 100% guaranteed, but the situation is it is. We've had 2 bids already rejected for Onana. Inter Milan have rejected both of them at this moment in time. The initial one was a total combined 45 million euros. The second was a 50 million euro combination of a 45 up front and 5 million in add-ons. That's been rejected. Inter Milan wanted 60 million euros for him. United are expected to be able to reach an agreement for 55 million euros. So here, as you can see here, negotiations between Manchester United and Inter for Andre Onana are ongoing also today. Talks are on. Sources feel that 55 million euro package is the right one to make the deal happen. That's from Fabrizio Romano. So really, that's the magic number on this one. 55 million euros will get the deal done. It seems at the moment between Inter and Manchester United for Onana. Ten Hag will be getting his player that he wants, and it's the goalie that we need to replace David De Gea and also kick us on stylistically. So great bit of news there if it happens, which hopefully it will do today, and if it's not today, it should be tomorrow or over the weekend, but certainly it could well be today. Also, as I mentioned, we are looking at this backup goalkeeper Zion Suzuki, who could just be coming in for a backup, and Henderson's expected to be sold very soon. So there you go. That's the goalkeeper situation done. Let's talk about some of the other biggest news. We have been talking already about Rasmus Hojlund at Manchester United in this video. And talks are ongoing between Man United and Atalanta for Hojlund. Statistically, he's not going to blow you away, but he is super young and he does have all the bags of potential that we need. And like I said earlier on, if Ten Hag wants him, I'm going to get behind him. You know, that sounded a bit wrong, but you know what I mean? If Ten Hag wants him, we're going to get behind the transfer, aren't we? And there are big reports that we're going for him. And there's also quite a lot of reports coming out that we might even be trying to send Greenwood in the opposite direction. So check this out, guys. This is from Samuel Luckhurst earlier on this afternoon. John Murtaugh has held extensive talks with Atalanta officials and has discussed a possible deal to sign Rasmus Hojlund and loan Mason Greenwood to them. So, I mean, I think that would be an absolute genius bit of transfer dealings if we can do that, because as we talked about Greenwood yesterday, it's a PR shitstorm, guys. He wasn't found guilty, he wasn't found innocent, he didn't have the trial. You know, audio recordings came out that said made him seem like an absolute scumbag. There's allegations of a sexual assault, there's allegations of rape, there's allegations of threats to kill. There's all of this horrible nightmare, gashtastic PR surrounding Mason Greenwood, which we don't want none of. And what a fantastic thing, what a genius move it would be to take all of that pressure, all of that negativity, take it off of Man United's shoulders, take it out of the Premier League, and go and give him to a different club where he can go and play football and he can continue to be an asset and continue to develop and play, and he can deal with that. He can deal with that initial backlash that he will receive. He will receive it, but he can deal with that not here. He can deal with it away from Manchester United. He can go and play in Serie A, go and play for Atalanta. He could go play in a different league or somewhere else, be loaned out, get that game time. He's only 21, develop, continue to progress as a professional, and we still have him on our books. Yet we don't have all of the negative PR surrounding him associated with us at this time. It's absolute genius move. Smash a 1 in the live chat, guys, if you think that's a good option for Man United to try and do with Greenwood. We're conducting this internal investigation. Will he be a United player? Won't he be a United player? I say we don't even deal with it right now. I say we don't even let Ten Hag's squad situation be upset at the moment by bringing Mason Greenwood back in. I say loan him out, do the deal, sweeten the deal with Atalanta, get Rasmus Hojlund in and send him shipped off in the opposite direction. He will get backlash over there as well. Even the British press, I'm sure, will give him a roasting as well while he continues to come back playing. But it's not the same. Italian press is not the same. The British press is absolute. You know, they will hound him. Not only that, the fans in England will let him know what's up, won't they? If we're going to, you know, the Emirates and we're playing against Arsenal and Mason Greenwood comes on, you're going to hear so many chants about, oh, he's a rapist and all this stuff. You are going to hear that. That is what will happen. And if you go to Liverpool, anybody, every single team, they will have their own chant for Mason Greenwood and they will be languishing abuse at him non-stop throughout a 90-minute game of football. And it will be something that he's going to have to deal with, but it's something that Man United will have to deal with and the fans of Man United will have to deal with. And it's not something that you want a traditional family club like Manchester United dealing with, is having to deal with all this hatred and all this vitriol and all these abusive chants and stuff like that aimed at one of your players. We don't need that, guys. We don't need that at all. So as far as I'm concerned, it would be the perfect situation for us. Get him gone out on loan for a year. And what it does is it allows him a second chance. I don't necessarily want him to have a second chance, guys. He sounds like a scumbag. But I'm just saying it does allow him to have a second chance as a professional. And maybe in 1 year's time, after he's had a successful stint out on loan somewhere, i.e. Atalanta or wherever, maybe we could have him back and welcome him back at the football club. The thing is with Mason Greenwood is he's one of the most talented young players in the world. Even if he's not played football for a year and a half, he's still one of the most talented young players in the world. What a player. He had everything. He had literally the world at his feet at one time as an 18, 19-year-old lad playing for Manchester United. He was our star boy, left foot, right foot, goals, finishing galore, playing out on the right side as well, creating chances. The guy has everything you need for a young player. Literally would go on and do some amazing things. I said in the past, Greenwood he'd be a candidate to be winning a future Ballon d'Or. That's how highly I held this guy in terms of esteem and having the potential to go on and do great things in the game. So to just chuck him away, maybe it doesn't make sense for United. It allows somebody else to go and sign him. It allows a rival in the Premier League maybe to pick him up one day. And he does still have that potential. He might not quite have the same 100% level of potential because he's been stagnating and sitting around for a while. Or maybe it actually works the opposite way. Maybe this is the catalyst that makes him buckle down, that makes him focus and turn into a complete professional and, you know, not be late and not do these things and actually take his chance that he's got here, his second chance, not for granted, and actually go on and be the player that he could be. So, no, I don't know, guys. It's one of those, is it? What do you reckon, guys? Keep, sell, or loan Mason Greenwood? What do you think's right for this guy? What do you think's right for us to do? But I actually am favouring the loan now, because I think it's the best of both worlds. It gives us a chance maybe to decide in a year's time whether or not he could play for United. It gives him a chance to develop. And it does not upset the status quo within Manchester United squad right now. Because I can guarantee you now, the fan base is split. Look at this. So Jim says keep, United Till I Die says sell, keep says Tyler, sell says Madhouse, loan says Dave, loan says Kingslayer and Langy86, you legend. Loan, then sell, says K Slater. Thank you, Henrik Kelman. Appreciate you, my friend. Pete Morris says loan him, see how he behaves if he causes any grief. Yeah, get that PR pressure out the way. And, you know, it could be good. But the fan base is totally split on this situation with Mason Greenwood, as you can see from the chat here. And I can almost guarantee you there'll be people within Manchester United who are split on Mason Greenwood as well. From what they've heard and seen and what's been going on, there will be players within Manchester United squad who don't want Mason Greenwood as a teammate. And there will be people within United's hierarchy who don't want Mason Greenwood at the club. And there will be people in United's women's team who don't want Mason Greenwood at the club. And it does create a lot of negativity, not just in terms of surrounding the club in PR, but also within the dressing rooms. Who needs it, guys? You don't need it right now. Whereas what you could do is loan him out. It still gives you the option to sell him. You know, in the future, Luan says keep him after a brief loan. Still gives you the option to keep him after he's been loaned out and had a year somewhere else. But it takes that initial backlash away from the situation. You no longer have to deal with all the vitriol and hate you'll get from rival fans and the media for playing this guy. And it gives you a chance if he goes on and gets over this and continues to develop and is a complete professional going forward and maybe does I don't know, some sort of public interview. Maybe him and his girlfriend, him and his missus do a public interview and address this situation and the PR the public opinion changes. Maybe you could see him play for Manchester United again one day. But it's still quite unrealistic, guys. I still expect him maybe to go and play his trade somewhere else down the line. We just hit 150 likes, everyone. Thank you, every one of you legends, for hitting the like button. Keep hitting the likes. It boosts us on the algorithm. It helps us compete with the clickbaiters and the corporation wankers. So make sure you smash that like button. It's free to do so. And also subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit the old subscribe button. You know it makes sense. We're on here daily. You can click the bell icon like your name was Quasimodo. Esmeralda the Bells! In order to in order to not miss a show. That's always a good thing to do as well. And we've got a super chat here from Mikey. Thank you so much for the £2 super chat. Super Mikey. Thank you, Mikey, lad. He says, if he plays well, his price rises for a full sale. Spot on, mate. So go back a year and a half. Go back to before this came out with Mason Greenwood. Go back before he was a scumbag, if that's what you want to say. Then how much was he worth? Go on, I'll ask the live chat, guys. How much was Mason Greenwood worth before all of this? As a 19-year-old player. How much was he worth? He was probably one of the most expensive players in the world because of potential. I'm thinking he was worth £90 million. I don't know. I'm talking about before this happened. I think he was worth 90 million quid, guys. One of the most expensive players in the world. Because not only had he displayed the talent already, but he was only 19 and he had the potential to go on and be one of the best players in the world. So, value-wise, he was worth an absolute ton. He's not worth that now. No way. No way with the baggage. He's not worth anywhere near that now. But I think Mikey's right. We could go and put him out on loan. He might flop. He might psychologically be done. He might be damaged. He might never recover from all of this. Or he could go on and prove what a great player he is still and increases value. And then we've got this asset still at the football club in a year's time that we can then sell on. Great comment, Mikey. I agree, mate. You know, his price will rise again. And in terms of the past and what's happened, he's definitely a valuable player. Gung Shi, great to see you, my lad. How are you today? He says, smash a like for Don Piglioni. Thank you so much, Gung Shi. Hope you're doing well, lad. Yes, indeed. Do as the Don says and hit that thumbs up button. Yeah, Kingstuff says 90 million then. Noto says 90 to 100 million if Hojlund's being pushed for 80. Yep, Chrissy J thinks he was 75 plus million. Emperor Jerome says 100 million easy if we'd have kept his head down into his early 20s. Absolutely agree with you. 100 million plus says Boomy. 70 million then says Mikey. Probably 30 million at the moment. Yeah, oh yes, definitely. I mean, there's still big, what's the word? There's still big value for him. And like, especially for a foreign league, like where they're... For English teams, I don't think any English teams would touch him with a dirty stick at the moment. But other teams, you know, Saudi teams are buying a lot of players at the moment. I could imagine a Saudi Arabian team would still see a lot of value in Mason Greenwood as a young player, definitely. Langy86, let's go, mate. Bacon Brigade member for 11 months. Highlighted member. We can now get highlighted member comments up on the screen here, guys, which is a new revelation. Get in there, Langy86, you legend. Thank you for being a member of this channel for 11 months, a Bacon Brigadier. Thank you, my friend. He says, with his comment, let's get an 11 in the live chat, by the way. He says he bangs 15 goals on loan and public opinion will change. Yeah, that's it. He's kind of, he's not been sent to trial. He's not been sent to prison. That was brushed under the carpet, rightly or wrongly. That case is no longer. So, you're never going to get justice if you believe that Mason Greenwood did those things. What's going to happen now is he's going to have to face that hurdle of getting back to playing football. And once he has done that, and time's gone by, time's a great healer. I personally won't ever really feel comfortable with him at Man United. Man United should be a family club. We've got a women's team. You know, it's too negative a situation. There's too much baggage there now with Mason. But it will change the opinion over time. If he goes and beats professional for a different club and scores goals and does well and continues to develop as a player, it will change opinion. I agree with you, Langy. Thank you for being a member for 11 months, Langy. And thank you to Bombay Bad Boy for getting in here with a super chat. Thank you for the super chat there, Bombay Bad Boy. By the way, I hate your pot noodles, mate. Who likes a Bombay Bad Boy? What's the matter with you guys? If you're the type of person to eat a Bombay Bad Boy, there's something slightly wrong with you. That's all I can say. They're absolutely disgusting and spicy and horrible. Never enjoyed a Bombay Bad Boy pot noodle at all. Chicken and mushroom all the way for the win, guys. Everybody knows it. Anyway, thank you very much, though, for your comment there, bud. He says, where was the outrage for Ronaldo, who also had similar issues as Greenwood? He won't return to the US for a reason, says Bombay Bad Boy. Okay, but that was never founded, was it? Like, that's the thing. There was allegations. Okay, now, was there... The only thing we saw in regards to Ronaldo evidence that he'd done anything was him hanging out with a woman in a club in Las Vegas, I think it was, right? That's all it was. No, there's no audio recordings, you know, as far as I'm aware. Whereas what happened with Mason Greenwood, the reason why that's so strange, there's loads of footballers who are accused of things. Loads of footballers are accused of things, guys. And they either get found guilty if it goes to trial, whatever, or they get found innocent. And once they're found innocent, that's it, they're innocent. But in regards to all the charges are dropped or somebody pays somebody off or whatever the case may be. But either way, this is different because Mason Greenwood had evidence that should be private, really, that should have been evidence for the police to deal with, etc. Publicly posted out there by his girlfriend. And so it is different because, you know, there was images of her with a bruise or whatever it was. They're not saying that proves anything. And there was also an audio recording of him, well, you know, allegedly committing an act of assault. So it's a different situation, in my opinion. You know, you can always accuse people of things, but unless there's actually evidence that the public can see, it's not the same. That's why with Mason Greenwood, it's a damning situation. It's not the same as the Ronaldo situation, if you ask me. Hassan Tariq says, what's your views on Mount getting the number 7 shirt? Thank you for your super chat, though, Bombay bad boy lad. What's my views on him getting the 7 shirt? Honestly, I think it's ridiculous. I can't believe he's been given the number 7 shirt. I think he's a good player. In fact, I don't even think he's a good player. I think he's an okay player. That's just my opinion. I really hope he goes on and becomes a great player for Manchester United. Of course I do. But I've always thought of him as being highly overrated. I'll just be honest. That's my opinion of Mason Mount. But in regards to the number 7 shirt, nobody should have got the number 7 shirt this season. There's nobody worthy of it. It's a storied, historic number. Probably the most iconic number at Manchester United. When you consider people like Ronaldo, Cantona, Best, Beckham, Robbo, all these guys have worn that number 7. And it meant something. And we're just giving it to an ex-Chelsea player as soon as he comes. Who's not even that good. I mean, I think it's pretty crazy, actually. But it does show the level of support or the level of confidence that Ten Hag has for him to be able to put that on him. And I kind of think it puts pressure on Mason Mount, and it is unnecessary pressure. He's already going to be feeling pressure coming from Chelsea, having to prove himself at a new team. And he's also coming in for a big price tag. And just giving him the number 7 just adds a little bit of extra pressure. I don't get it. I actually think it's a mistake from Ten Hag. I think that shirt number should have been rested for a season until somebody emerges this season and shows themselves at Manchester United, not a new signing, but shows himself to be that person that deserves it. And I'm sorry to say, Mason Mount does not deserve it at the moment. He doesn't deserve it at the moment. Maybe he'll live up to it. Maybe he'll surprise us. Maybe he'll go on and do some stuff. But I don't think he deserves it at the moment, guys. Smash a 1 in the chat if you agree. Gungshi says Garnacho was more deserving of the number 7. I'm with you, bud. I think Garnacho was more deserving because he's shown great potential. He's actually done it at Manchester United, and he would have made a good number 7. But even he, in my opinion, still was not deserving of the number 7 shirt because he's got a lot of stuff still left to prove and develop and make that starting position his own in the team. You can't give a number 7 to a player who's rotationary squad player, which is what he is at the moment, a prospect. You can't do that. You have to give the number 7 to a player that's playing, week in, week out. And so if Garnacho had got to that stage over the course of this season, then maybe at the end of the season he would have made a lot of sense to give the number 7 to. But I still agree with you, though, that he makes more sense to give it to than Mason Mount. I completely think that's the case. Manny Slouflaki, I hope you're doing well today, you legend. Get in there, my son. Thank you for joining the Bacon Express today, lad. Come on. I don't know, Gungshi. Why do we always rush into giving the number 7 shirt to players? No idea. We've given it to some right melters in the past. Alexis Sanchez, etc. Ravens Mansan, thanks for your comment here, pal. He says, Pig, do you think they should loan out Pellistri because Ten Hag never plays him anyways? Honestly, I'd say no. I think we should keep him. What do you reckon, guys? Keep or loan Pellistri? But I think we should keep him because from what I've seen, he does seem to have the ability to be good enough to play a role in the squad right now. And we can develop him. Now, I agree with you. Ten Hag hasn't played him enough. But maybe this season he will. If you think about the players we have, say, on the right-hand side that can play, it's Anthony, Sancho, and Pellistri, really. And Ahmad Diallo, right? Somebody's got to go out on loan, I think. But I'm not so sure if Pellistri should be the one. I think he's shown proper glimpses of what a great player he can be. He's so young. He's got bags of potential. Let's harness that potential. I'm not saying he's going to play week in, week out regularly. But he should be the guy that comes on towards the end of games and gets 20-minute cameos. He should be the guy to be playing against lesser teams in cups and getting rotated and stuff like that. He should be being brought on now. Kind of like more... Garnacho was getting that treatment a little bit last year. Still not enough, but he will get more chances this year, I think, to prove himself. And hopefully that's what happens with Pellistri. So I would keep Pellistri. I agree with you, Luan. Keep Pellistri, but he needs more game time. Absolutely. If he's not going to play, then there's no point keeping him. Send him out on loan. But give him the game time, I say. Zayn Mayassi getting in here raw. What's going on, Zayno? Thank you for the super chat here, Zayn Mayassi. What pearls of wisdom is he going to drop today? Thank you, Zayn. Let's get a Sui in the chat there for Zayn Mayassi, a.k.a. Ronaldo's #1 fan. He says, Rice is ours, and he would have deserved the number. Did you see, according to reports, if Mbappe comes to England, he would want to play for Arsenal? I did see that, mate. Yeah, I did see that. And it did make me chuckle. I must say it did make me chuckle. I did see that, though, bud. Yeah. I mean, pretty outrageous, but I've got the report right here, actually, mate. So let's just delve into this a little bit here. So Kylian Mbappe reportedly earmarks Arsenal as preferred Premier League destination. What What a load of old bollocks, mate. You actually believe that, do you, Jamie Ashley? That's fucking guff, lad. But this is what the reports are. He's reportedly earmarked Arsenal as his desired destination. It just sounds like absolute raw BS to me, lad. The Independent it is who claims, so it's from the Independent. The Independent claims that Mbappe would prefer a move to Arsenal over Liverpool or Man United if he decides to advance his career in the Premier League. Mbappe supposedly enjoyed witnessing the Gunners' revival under Mikel Arteta, and he would relish the chance of delivering Premier League glory to the Emirates once again. Two things make me laugh with that. Delivering Premier League glory back to the Emirates. That's not going to happen. And Mikel Arteta revival. Witnessing the revival under Arteta. Okay, if that's what you want to call it. Reviving them to get in Champions League football, but not winning anything there in this last season. No, I guess they did win an FA Cup when he first came in. But anyway, Mbappe to Arsenal, it's a no from me, Carol. What do you reckon, guys? Yes or no? Can you see that happening? Mbappe to Arsenal? I could see it if Wenger was still there and Arsenal were actually still good. If that was the case and you had Wenger, Frenchman, managing the side, and they had all those French players that they used to, Pires and Petit and Henry and all those guys and Vieira and all those guys, yes, I could see that era signing Kylian Mbappe. But not now, bud. I think you're being a little bit too wishful there. That's absolute bullshit. To be honest, it's absolute bullshit. Yeah, I agree with you guys. There's no chance of that, is there? But thank you, Zamiasi, for the pure delusion. I love it, mate. It was actually from the Independent, that article, Duncan. I know it sounds like a Sun story, but it's from the Independent, that one, mate. I did see that. United Tonight says Mbappe at Arsenal is the downfall of his career. Absolutely. Case letter says Arsenal pays players with coins in a bag stolen from the homeless. Bloody hell, mate. The source is horrible. Absolutely, ZX Frame. So I wouldn't believe that for a second. But thank you, Zamiasi, for getting in here, bud. Appreciate you, my friend. Right, okay, so anyway, we were on Greenwood there, we were on Hojlund, so we are having talks with Atalanta for Hojlund. There are reports that United, I mean, let's take this with a pinch of salt, this is from Samuel Cuckhurst, but it says, United have decided to loan Mason Greenwood as Erik ten Hag is reluctant to sell the forward. Greenwood is contracted to United until 2025, and the club will have the option of an additional year, so we could potentially have him contracted for 2026, which means that if we loaned him out for a year, we can improve our position financially, to sell him on in a year's time, get rid of the initial backlash, and sell him in a year's time for more money, or he may well come back and play for Manchester United. So that's a good idea, isn't it? And then there are some reports here that are coming out saying that Mason Greenwood has chosen to move to Atalanta. So don't know if that's true. I mean, that sounds like speculative bullshit. But there are some reports suggesting that Mason would favour a move abroad so he doesn't have to deal with all the shite playing in the Premier League from the fan bases and stuff like that, and that it's a good opportunity to play for a good team and revitalise his career. So it could be the case. Avram Glazer with a $2 super chat says, tell your subscribers to buy a new kit. Coffers are empty. Oh, well, this is what I tell my subscribers. Do not buy the kit until the Glazer shithouses are out. I'm going to buy the new kit, guys, when the Glazer shithouses are out. If Sheikh Jassim buys the football club, I'll be getting behind what we could potentially be doing at the club going forward, and I'll be happy to put my money into the football club again in order to, support them. That's what it's for. When you buy a kit, a certain percentage of that goes to the football club, and they're supposed to use that for good. They're supposed to use that for the running of the club, the acquisition of players, the stadium development, everything. That's what they're supposed to do. And if they go on and do that, then I'll be happy to put my money into the club. I'll be happy to get an MUTV subscription again and things like that. But right now, I'm not happy with that. I don't give my money to the Glazer shithouses because they're scumbags, guys. And you shouldn't do that right now until they've gone. But when they have gone, that's when you should, buy a kit. The Vootinator, thank you for the likes, Tally says we've got 179 likes. Guys, we're nearly at 200 likes, so keep hitting the thumbs up button if you haven't done so. That would be much appreciated. Do smash that like. You know it makes sense. Hit the thumbs up. It's free to like. Share us around. I will retweet or shout out everyone who's given us a retweet in a bit, so please do that. We will cover the latest news that's breaking in a little bit as well, but I've just got a few more things to talk about before we do. There's just another thing here about us signing Arsenal's doctor. Have you seen this, Zamiasi, lad? Zamiasi, what's he got to say here? Zamiasi comments and he says with another super chat, he says, City have lost Gundogan and maybe Silva. We are favourites this year for the league. Timber, Saliba, best defensive partnership in the league now. Our football will be stunning at Avatar 2 on the IMAX. Oh, fucking hell. No, I mean, honestly, in terms of partnerships in centre-backs, for a start, you haven't seen those guys play together. Timber does look like a really great prospect and a really great player for the future. And now... But actually, what are you on about, Zane? I disagree because you haven't seen it yet, bud. It's going to take a bit of time to cement that partnership. Saliba's a really good young defender. He actually really did have a great season last season. And he's got bags of potential. But to say that already is ridiculous. Let's ask the live chat here, guys. And this is a Man United channel, but let's ask the live chat, in all honesty, what do you think is the best centre-back partnership in the league? I mean, City's is up there. But... I honestly think that Lisandro Martinez and Rafael Varane, when they're both fit and 100% conditioned to play, that's as good as anything, guys. I honestly think that is a fantastic centre-back partnership. But yeah, Ryan says City have the best. I mean, City maybe have the best, but United certainly are right up there with our centre-backs in Lisandro Martinez and Varane. And let's not forget, Zane, just 1 year ago, you guys were trying to sign the Butcher. You were trying to sign Lisandro Martinez, and you failed. He decided to go to Manchester United and reunite with Erik ten Hag and come to a better club. So you guys would have rather had him at your football club. Don't lie. And so therefore, you couldn't be more wrong to say that that's the best centre-back partnership in the league. It's just not the case at all. Love the delusion, though, but it's completely wrong. Definitely wrong. Yeah, Jonathan says Zane's comments. Same says Orlando. Yeah, absolutely. Pretty unbelievable, really. Maguire and Lindelof. Best I've seen, says Madhouse. Wowzers. Drew says Gabriel and Saliba, two absolute monsters, improving all the time. Saliba is the new daddy on the scene. Saliba is really, really good. I do think he's a great centre-back. Do think he's a great player, but to say that they've got the best centre-back partnership in the league is pretty ridiculous. Newcastle's is pretty strong, says Mikey. Yeah, fair play. Case Slater says Diaz and Stones. Duncan says Martinez and Varane. Yep, Duncan. And Gangshi says Butcher and Varane is up there. It's definitely up there. I'm not going to pretend it's the best, but I think it might be the second best. If it's not the best, it's the second best. So it's right up there. But anyway, yes, so David Ornstein reporting earlier today that Arsenal doctor Gary O'Driscoll moving to Manchester United. I mean, look, is it even worth talking about? I don't know, but we got a new doctor, guys, from Arsenal. He's been at Arsenal for 14 years, apparently. He's highly regarded. It's a piece of news, so I've put it up on the screen just to talk about. Who cares, really? But there you go. That's another thing, another little coup we've stolen away from Arsenal there. Not just the butcher, Lisandro Martinez, but this guy as well. We've got the doctor of Arsenal as well there. Nice one. Dale says Lisandro Martinez and Varane all day. Love that one. Zamiassi, thanks for the super chat here, mate. He says your doctor, who you nicked from us, won't fix Varane, who's always injured. He's got a task up against him there, to be fair, to be able to get him fit. He says, do you think down the line players could get yellow cards if they use the wrong pronouns with players on the pitch? I don't, Zamiassi. I don't think we need to bring that into football, to be fair, lad. I really don't think so, Zamiassi, no. What a stupid comment. I mean, where's your head at, mate? Where's your head at? Where's your head at? Where is your head at, mate? I don't know. But to be fair, right, let me just put something out there in regards to Rafael Varane. So, great super chat there, Zane. Very, very humorous. But let's be honest now. We've nicked this doctor from you. You say that he won't make a difference to Rafael Varane, and maybe that's true. But what will make a difference to Rafael Varane, I think, is the fact that he's retired from international football. Now, how old is Varane now, guys? Was he 29, 30? He's still got some top years ahead of him. Now, I'm not saying he won't get injured anymore, because he will still get injured. He's an injury-prone player. When he's fit, he's got to play. He's a great player, in my opinion. But he will get injured. He won't play all the time. But I can almost say with confidence that he won't be sidelined as much as when he was playing for France, because obviously it just stands to reason. He would go away on international duty and he would sustain an injury, or he wouldn't be able to have that time off to recover and replenish the fuel tank, so to speak, and he wouldn't get time to rest himself. Well, now he will. Now he will, so I think he will be injured less. I think he'll be more available to Manchester United going forward, and that will benefit United. I don't know if this doctor's going to have anything to do with it. Probably not. But I think he will himself be injured less. It's an argument. What do you reckon, guys? Do you think Varane will be injured less or the same? Less or the same? It's hard to say, isn't it? He is such an injury-prone melter. Something about Frenchmen. Tony Martial's like it as well. Something about Frenchmen, isn't it? They just get injured. You're absolutely right, guys. Yeah, Neil Prajapati says Zayn is always puffing on some weird stuff, man. What is it that Zayn's smoking on? That's a great question. No idea. Same says Duncan Belifo. So yeah, the same. Kieran says the same. Kingslayer says the same. United ID says the same. Fair enough, but come on, it's got to make some difference him not playing international football. Just in terms of recovery and also in terms of not getting injured potentially while he's away with the France national squad. That will make some little difference. Arsenal living rent-free, says Stefan. Hey, Avram Glazer getting in it. Do you know what? Fuck off, mate. Can we get some hashtag Glazers out in the live chat? Get out. Get gone, you scummer. He says, I need to talk to Haag to give Maguire game time. Right, get out, mate. So, look, we're waiting on the announcements. We're waiting on news. It's been a long time coming. There's been so many reports coming out from Qatar and various places that, you know, it's a case of it's done and Sheikh Jassim's coming, but we just got to wait for it to happen. The Glazers need to go. They just need to do one so we can start moving on. What I'm liking is at least we are doing some business now with the Glazers still here. I was expecting us to really fanny it around and dawdle for a long time while they're still here. But it does look like we are trying to do some business. We're having these negotiations for Rasmus Hojlund. We're having bids put in there for Onana. We've signed Mason Mount. So there is some positivity taking place. But get out, mate. That's all I want to say to you. Get out. Glazers out. Get gone. Green and gold until the club is sold. And when it is, it'll be like a day to rejoice for Manchester United. Right, I'm just going to check out the latest updates, which Rush Mano, the legend, has sent me throughout the show, guys, just to see what's come out since I've been talking here. So do give me one moment. Brilliant. Rob Dawson, ESPN, reporting that Man United are hopeful of making a breakthrough in the negotiations with Inter for Andre Onana over the weekend. And I think that's fair to say. If it's not today, which it could be, we could hear an announcement of the deal being struck today from journos and stuff. If it's not today, I think it will be over the weekend. What do you reckon, guys? Smash a 1 in the chat if you think Andre Onana is as good as a United player. Smash a 2 if you don't think it's going to happen. But I think it is going to happen, this. Of course it is. We're desperate for a keeper. He's the guy. He's got that Ajax history with Ten Hag. It's almost a formality. So, yeah. Also, there's a report here that Atalanta United signed midfielder Tristan Mayumba from League Two's Guingamp as well. Atalanta got some cash doing some business. Interesting. Also, there's the latest in regards to some shirt number. There's been 5 shirt number changes at Manchester United. Here's some information that's come out today. 5 Manchester United shirt numbers have changed. Let's have a look at this then. See what's going on. So, Kobbie Mainoo's been changed from the 73 to the 37. He's had a shirt number change. That's interesting. He's a young prospect, great young player that could really potentially go on and do some good things. So that's good to hear. Alvaro Fernandez, another youngster who's been given a change from number 74 to 42. Isaac Hansen-Aaron has been given a change from 68 to 59. Mark Gerardo from 63 to 54. So a bit of a reshuffling of some shirt numbers here, guys. And of course, Mason Mount's been given the number 7. So just a little bit of news there, guys, in regards to shirt numbers. It's not that interesting, but it is news. It is news. What's this? Zayn Miyasi getting in here raw. Fair play to you, Zayn. Let's get some love hearts in there for Zayn Miyasi. And some hashtag delusional gooner in the live chat as well, because he is a delusional man, this guy. But let's have a look and see what he's got to say for himself this time. Thank you for the super chats and the support on the channel, Zayn. I do appreciate it. But also, what's he got to say? He says, I heard the Glazers are going to do a nude calendar to raise money for the transfer budget. Goodness me. Well, they'll probably raise quite a lot of money from the likes of you, Zayn. I'd imagine you're into that sort of stuff, lad. Looking at the Glazers, you know, with like a couple of bunt cakes covering up their private parts, completely in the nud other than that. But most people wouldn't buy that, Zayn Miyasi, let's be honest. So they'd only raise about £17.50, of which most of that would be from you. So I don't see them doing a Calendar Girls type vibe, mate. Interesting. The Glazers are gone, Zane. It's every Arsenal fan's wet dream, not the Glazer calendar, but for the Glazers to stay. That's all the rivals want. And you can understand it. They've seen how bad the Glazers have run this football club for years now. They have been shite. What a horrible set of owners. And all of the opposition fans and player and teams and everybody, chairman and everybody, would just want Manchester United to stay in the same position with the Glazers because they know that we're shackled right now. We are going to be like, we're going to be like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Man with the Iron Mask. Bit of an old school reference here. When he's like chained up and masked up for years. And he's chained up, mate. And he can't do enough. He's in some sort of prison and he's chained up. He can't do enough. It's going to be unleashed. And when we're unleashed, everybody is going to get D'Artagnan'd right to shit. That's all I'm saying. They're going to get messed up with how good Manchester United are going to be, I think, over the next few seasons. We will have the ambition, we will have the owners, we'll have the facilities, we will have all of the state-of-the-art technology, we'll have all the players coming in that we need, we'll have the manager, hopefully with Ten Hag doing great things. We will all of a sudden be unleashed. We will be like a dormant volcano that's been sat idly waiting, bubbling away for years and years and years and years, suddenly erupting like Mount St. Helens all over Zamiassi and these fucking Arsenal scummers. You know what I mean, guys? It's a matter of time. Get ready for it. Get ready for another Pompeii, mate, where you get caked in ash and you end up, being forever stuck in history as some melter who can't ever win anything. That's what's going to happen when Manchester United have the shackles released with the Glazers gone. As soon as that happens, Man United are back. Maybe not as soon as, but over the course of a year or two, we will rebuild to become the greatest club in all the land again. Come on, United! That's right. It's true, though. It is true, though, guys. I humbly believe that will be the case. Humbly believe that these other teams, such as Arsenal and Liverpool and City and these guys, they won't be able to compete with Manchester United once we have the new owners in that we need. Noto says they would look like Ren from Ren and Stimpy. Stimpy, you idiot! Tafisa says, I trust Ten Hag to amazing even under Glazer ownership. Imagine what could happen with better owners. Precisely. So he's done what he's done over the last season with having the Glazers at the football club and being shackled and having to sign Wout Weghorst in the January transfer window. Just imagine what could go on and happen once that isn't the case and we have the freedom to go and get good players and do what we want. It's so true, guys. It's so true. What's this Avram Glazer super chatting in here, mate? Get out! He says, hashtag Glazers out, please, guys. He says, Mount and Onana, Glazers, we at the wheel. I mean, I don't think those are bad signings. It remains to be seen what we do with the rest of the window. The way you're talking there is like, oh, they're bad signings. I mean, Mount's not a bad signing. He's a expensive signing. He's somebody we've paid over the odds for. But he's actually a good addition. He does make Manchester United better. He's better than McTominay and Fred. And Eriksen's getting older and he's only 32, can't play all the time. Mount makes us better. I will say that. I'm not a huge fan of Mason Mount, but he makes us better. And he gives us options. So he's a good signing. The price is the problem there. We've paid too much. But it's not our money. And then in regards to Onana, well, it remains to be seen. But I think that for what Ten Hag's trying to do, stylistically, he will fit Ten Hag's philosophy and going forward of what we want to try and change. So that could prove to be a great signing. Now, it remains to be seen how good this transfer window will be. We could end up with Amrabat. We could end up with this Suzuki backup goalkeeper. And we could also end up going to get Hojlund, in which case this window would be a very satisfactory window for improving our positions in the team that we needed to. And it could even go on and be an amazing window if we've got the Glazer shithouses out and we've got new owners who come in and go and spend beyond those players I've just mentioned. Imagine if we did go and get Kane as well, or we went and signed another centre-back as well and did some really top-notch business and got 7 players in this transfer window. Now that would mean that we're going places, and I could see that. I could see that happening. I could see that happening if we get new owners. It's on the cards. Mikato, what's going on, you legend? I hope you're doing well. He says, hey, Piggy, you're looking good. Can see on your face how much weight you have lost. We'll have to come up with a new name for you soon. Oh, thank you very much, bud. Yeah, good shout. Maybe Flying Weasel United. No, but yeah, thank you, Mikato. I have continued to lose a bit of weight, mate. I'm right around about just under 15 stone at the moment. Tom, thank you, Mikato, for that lovely comment there. Tom, thanks for your highlighted member comment. Look at that. Look at that, guys. 40 months a member of this channel. 40 months for Tom. Come on, guys. Get your Don hats out for this guy. What a bloody legend. 40 months he has supported this channel. Thank you so much, mate. He says, Onana, what's my name? Onana, what's my game? Onana, what's my name? What's my name? What's my name? Onana. Yeah, thank you very much for that, Tom. I appreciate it. He says, big love, Pig, in the chat. Same back to you, man. And thank you very much for supporting this channel all that time. That's seriously a long amount of time, bro. Noto says, soon you'll be 14 stone of muscle. Oh, yes, you know it. You prefer a chunky lad, says Slappy City. Fair enough. Each to their own. I respect that, you know. But I'm trying to get a bit healthier. And I will actually, I'm going to try and add on weight at some point. I just want it to be muscle to replace the blubber. So that's the idea. Yeah, very impressive, Tom. 40 months a member. Makato says 40. Great support. Now, thank you to all the members of this channel. And certainly thank you very much to Makato, who's been a long-time member, and everybody else. And Tom and everybody else. Rushmano, who's been a long-time member. Everybody. Gungshi. Some of these legends have been members for years. Stefan says, glad to see you looking well, Pigo. Thank you very much, Stefan Harringtonio, bud. Right, we've smashed 200 likes, guys. Come on. Thank you, everyone, for hitting that thumbs up button, guys. 200 likes. That's brilliant. We've got a couple more updates to look at here. So, reports coming out that with Man United interested in 2 goalkeepers, it looks increasingly unlikely that De Gea would sign a new contract. So we were talking about that a bit earlier on at the start of the show. There were some rumours about De Gea maybe being re-signed as a backup. Doesn't look likely at all, does it? We said as much, that it's very unrealistic. I don't think David would want to do that for a start. He deserves to go. He's too good. He deserves to go to a good European side and play week in, week out football. He really does. And it's just, we don't want to pay a couple £100,000 a week for a backup anymore, I don't think. Also, reports are coming out that Southampton have made contact with Man United about the possibility of loaning Amad Diallo for next season. That would be good. I mean, it's I don't know, another championship move for him. I don't know. What do you reckon, guys? Keep, loan, or sell Amad Diallo? Is he really going to play? I think we should maybe give him a chance in pre-season, see how he does. But we've got Pulisic, we've got Sancho, we've got Anthony. Is he even going to get a look in? If he's not going to play at the club, there's no point in festering around doing nothing, stagnating. We need him to maybe go and get experience. So I'd be up for it. And then also reports coming out from Pedro Almeida that Andre Onana is set to join Manchester United from Inter for €50 million plus 5 million in bonuses, all concluded in the last hours between the clubs. I mean, take that with a pinch of salt. We've got to wait for, you know, Fab or Ornstein or someone like that to report it. But there are fresh reports coming out just from 10 minutes ago saying that it's basically agreed between Inter and United for Onana. Keep Ahmad, says Jim Watkins. Respect. Miz, thank you for the super chat here, Miz. Come on, get in there. Everyone, let's get some love in the chat there for Miz. Thank you for the £1 super chat there, my friend. Much appreciated, dude. Thank you very much, lad. Beef Buddy says, oink oink, if we get Onana and Amrabat, they're world class. Would you agree, Pig? No. No, I mean, world class. Well, how do you define world class? It depends how you define world class. I define world class as these players would be wanted and get into the best teams in the world. And I'm not so sure we could really say that in the case of Amrabat. Amrabat's a really good player, but I think he's coming to United to play a rotationary one. I don't think he's coming in to slot into Man United's midfield and take the place of, you know, our midfielders or whatever. So I would say no, but it's not that far away, bud. Tom says Onana is world class for me, but not Amrabat. Yeah, I would say that's fair. The big guy says, we spent all of our pocket money now. Thank you for the love hearts there, the Don. Crikey, Bell 6091. Thanks for the heads up, bud. We've got Pigsy to end of the season. Absolutely, lad. Okay, so I'm going to get into the live chat for a Q&A now, guys, for a few minutes. Thanks, everyone who's got in here. There was just one or two other things I want to discuss, actually. So, Donny van der Beek, ready to leave Manchester United this summer. Reports coming out that that's the case. See you later on, Donny. Keep, sell, or loan, Donny, guys. But for me, it's a sell. Try and get some cash back. Get him off the books. Not going to work out for him, especially with Mount coming in and Amrabat potentially. Like, what's he going to do? Donny van der Beek, see you later on, son. Bye-bye. Good luck to him. It's a shame what happened to him at United, but that's the case. That's basically the only bit of news. Oh, and also, there were some reports that maybe Dortmund would be keen on taking Jadon Sancho back, but it looks like they've quelled any interest in bringing Sancho back. It's just too much money. He's on too much money. He costs too much money, even from a loan basis in terms of wages and fees. But Bild were reporting that the Bundesliga outfit have now dropped their interest in Jadon Sancho anyway. So just an update there. I think we're stuck with Jadon this year. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let's get into the live chat for a Q&A. Before I do, I will just go and shout out everyone that's retweeted us on Twitter. Thank you, everyone, for retweeting us and helping us get the word out there for the shows. It does help the channel out. We've had 7 retweets. Thank you, everyone, for all the retweeters here. It means a lot. Thanks for spreading the show out. Boomy, Transfers MUFC, Devils Are Red, John Boy Cat, Kieran Watts, Gungshi, a.k.a. Feline Fur, the Butcher of Manchester, all giving us a nice retweet on Twitter. Thank you, guys, and thanks, everyone, for sharing the stream. Now's the time to smash that like button and have your say in the live chat. Let's get into it for a few minutes and see what you legends have got to say for yourselves. Let's have a look. Farewell, Donny. Yeah, exactly, Beef Buddy. He's got to go, hasn't he? Donny, don't slam the door on your way out. I mean, it's not his fault. I've got no ill feeling towards Donny van der Beek at all, but it is just, time for him to go, really. He's never going to do anything at the football club. Thank you, Jim Watkins. I appreciate you, man. It's a great community we got here, man, no doubt. Chouameni or Valverde, Real Madrid might need to sell if they get Mbappe. Who would you pick? Well, I mean, are they really going to sell them to us? I mean, I very much doubt it, but if they did get Mbappe and they needed to sell, either or, I think they're both really great midfielders, to be fair. I think they would be fantastic signings, mate. Either or. I'm not selling my shares, says Avram Glazer. Get out. I'd retreat, but I've no friends to twat at, says Bell. Bloody hell, mate. You know, what's your problem? You think we still need a top striker? Yeah, if we're and a centre-back, yeah, to win this league. Yeah, I actually think we need Kane to win the league. Superstar says, people treat players who are leaving so bad, man. Just say goodbye and move on. Yeah, I know. Maguire needs to go. Absolutely, Bell 691. Talking sense, lad. Hopefully we can get rid of that melter very soon. Avram, watch your back then. Forever and a day. Any other Chelsea players you'd want to overpay for, Pig? Reece James I would have at the football club, to be fair. Super Fat Frank. There's not that many, I think, at Chelsea that really, impressed me that much. I mean, they've got a lot of potential. People like Mudryk have a lot of potential. I'd take Reece James, though. I really would. Hassan Tariq says, Onana, Mount, Hojlund, Amrabat. What would you rate this window we have? Yeah, nice one. Let's get a rating out of 10 in the live chat, guys, for that window. We did it at the start of the show, but let's do it again. I would rate it a 7 out of 10 because we've addressed most of the key positions in the team. The midfield would be improved. Depth-wise would be improved. We'd have a goal scorer, hopefully. We'd have a new goalkeeper, which transforms the style of Manchester United, potentially. And then we've got a couple of good squad players as well that helps. So I think I'd give it a 7 out of 10 as a window. And we could even go a lot more than that if we sign more players. Twitter's cancelled, Elon's ruined it. He has gashed it right up, hasn't he? We can't give Maguire away, says Madhouse. Well, we might have to. We might have to terminate that, Mel. Madhouse says a 7. Nick says a 6. Kieran says a 7. Yeah. 6 says Duncan. 7 says Beef Buddy. Edward says a 6. Roshmano says 7. Yeah, I agree. Decent. Templar says 8. Gungshi says 7. You want a top striker, says Orlando. 6. 8 out of 10 says Boomy. 10 out of 10 if we get a centre-back. Got to get rid of the shite. That's true, Colin. It does matter who we get rid of as well as to what sort of a rating window we have. A frenulum funding 7.48. Bloody hell. 7 says Beef Bully. 10 in the jam window, says Templar Priest. Ben Bray says 10. Tom says 8 or 9 if we added a young athletic centre-back who's good on the ball. 6.5 to 7, says Rajat. 10.5 already, says Avram Glazer. Get out. 10 when the Glazers go. That's so true. That would be the biggest piece of business in this summer window for sure. Add another player after Onana and Mount and I'll go 7. Yeah, fair play. Fair play. Vooty says 7 so far. Hopefully an 8 or a 9 by September. Spot on. Christopher Waters thinks it's a 6. So we'd all be reasonably content with that window. It's not a perfect transfer window. It's not a 10, but it's getting there, isn't it, guys? It'd be getting there. Right, get your comments in. I'm going to read a few more out, guys. Then we'll have to get on our way. But we will be back on later with more transfer news and the updates if and when there is some. I think there could be a confirmation that we've reached an agreement with Inter Milan for Onana, and then it'd be a formality, him coming. And he should be here before pre-season, hopefully. It could really go that quickly. He could be a Man United player within a week. So I think that that's highly likely. So watch this space, guys. As always, if you're new to this channel, smash the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications so you get updates and when we post and go live. Follow us on the Instagram and the Facebook and the Twitter at Flying Pig United so you can see when we post and stuff. But I will read a few more comments out here anyway. And thanks everyone for watching and liking and supporting the channel. Claire says, Man United cannot win the league without a new striker. Spot on, agree with you. And even then it's going to be tough with the likes of City still doing what they're doing. Mikey says, Edward would have blown the rest of our transfer budget on getting Rihanna for the Onana announcement. Good shout. Onana. What's my name? No worries, Primot. Thank you for watching the report, lad. What do I think of Zion Suzuki? I think he's got the coolest name out there. Look, I've never really seen the guy, to be fair. But if Man United scouting network and, you know, we've earmarked him as being a good prospect for the future. He's a young goalkeeper. He's not going to cost a lot of money. It's not really a gamble. Get him. Get him, I say. Noto says for years, 2 of the 10 targets, a solid window. Absolutely. Bell says to get above 8, we need about 5 outs and 60 million in. Yeah, respect. If Greenwood scores the most goals in Serie A, would you accept him? You know, it's not really about that for me. You know, it's honestly not. It's about him being a very naughty boy. Nick Pendergast says Avram Glazer is Zayn in disguise. We should buy Mick Mitsubishi. Like it. Steven says, let's go United. Do I just broke a tooth? Oh, bloody hell, mate. Dude, sorry to hear that, man. Get yourself down the dentist, lad. That's gash. Perfect second keeper. Yeah, that's it. Why would you need Henderson, who's on 130 grand a week, to be a backup? It makes no sense. Get rid of him. You've got rid of De Gea, who was on 375k. Get Onana on 200 or 250 or whatever he's going to be paid. And then just get a cheap backup goalkeeper prospect, young guy who's got potential to go on and do great things, to be a backup cup keeper, etc. It makes a lot of sense. Yes, indeed. Let's get some hashtag Glazers out at the end of this stream. Fred to Fulham Don, not done yet, Claire Farron. There is interest from other clubs in Fred, though. Good luck to him. He's been he's been a committed squad player for us, but, you know, he's not good enough for us. And I've said that for years, but he is sometimes really good, but that's not good enough for Man United. You've got to be consistent. Henderson is gone. Come on, Rushmana. Let's get rid of this melter. I hope so too. Ms528, thank you for being a Bacon Brigade member for 33 months, guys. 33 months. Hashtag 33 in the chat for this legend. He says, enjoy the channel as always. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Miz. Seriously, thanks for all the support over the years, bud. You're a legend, lad. Thank you, Miz. Hashtag 33 for Miz528, guys. 33 months a member. Mikey says, Onana, Suzuki, Kovar, Heaton, mixture of youth and experience in keeper department. Absolutely well said. 33 is coming in here for you, bud. Guys, we're going to wrap this video up then, but as always, links are in the description to the social medias. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Check out the website, flyingpigunited.com, to read your latest United news. Also, subscribe to this channel. Click the like on it before you go. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. It helps the stream out. Thanks, everyone who's been patient for me to get going back with content again. We're trying to get as much content out. My brother and his family are still here until the end of the weekend. So after that, things will be getting back to normal. But obviously going to spend a bit of time with them over the weekend and stuff. So I will still try and do 2 transfer videos a day, but after that we'll be doing more than that, and we'll be doing FIFA and all sorts of stuff, so watch this space. Thank you, Rushmano, you legend. Get in there. And everybody else, Jim, Avram Glazer, get out, Rushmano, Kingslayer, Madhouse, the legend that is Gungshi, and Vutinator, all the moderators. Thank you so much for moderating the chat. Thank you to all the members. Thank you to all the super chatters. Thank you to all the chatters. Thank you everyone who's got in here and had your say. You can come back after this video is finished with your thoughts and opinions in the not live comment section. Thank you, the Hoop Man. Thank you, Wiggy, you legends as well. All the mods, all the members like Bell and Superstar and Nick Pendragon and Jim and everyone. And thank you, Gungshi. Cheers, bud. Everyone, much love. Have a great day. Much love to you guys. It's always a pleasure, never a chore. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll catch you later. One love to the Bacon Brigade, and I'll see you later with the latest updates. Come on then, Onana. Come on, United. Finally do us some business, which makes sense for Ten Hag. It's actually strange. Hashtag Glazers out. That's going to be the best piece of business and news this summer. It's coming. See you on the next one, guys. That's it from me. Stay classy. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.